No, those images were not from the Middle East. They were not from Paris. They were not from Brussels. They were not from Germany. They were from Sweden again, and from the district of Stockholm known as Rinkeby, which on this Monday night, only a couple of days after Donald Trump said, "Look what happened last night in Sweden." Now, if he'd done the speech yesterday, he would have been able to say, "Look what happened last night in Sweden." But besides the point, this is why it's funny that people like to put themselves in this bubble like there is nothing happening in Sweden, there's nothing happening in Europe, when there is, clearly. Now, I'm not saying this is akin to a terrorist attack, and I admit Trump badly worded what he was saying when he did that speech. He shouldn't have said last night. He was being like an old person and being like, "Oh, last night on the Flickr box, they had the stories from Sweden on it and stuff." Besides the point, look what happened in Sweden. That's why I think this is funny, and I'm not saying this is akin to a terrorist attack, but this is just the normal behavior. This has become the new norm for certain parts of Europe, and especially Sweden. These heavily populated areas of mainly with migrants, immigrants, refugee populations. As they say, someone says in here that this is commonplace in Rinkeby for cars to be set on fire, for rocks to be thrown at police, where and they say between 800 and 1,000 professional criminal youth in Rinkeby and some surrounding areas apparently. And they say that on average we have one riot in a month and a car fire per day. I mean, even that sounds, and the most shootings across the country in this place called Rinkeby. And this is a politician saying this, telling the Swedish newspaper Expressen this. And what I can understand from the Norwegian paper or news outlet NRK is that they spoke to some shop owners in Rinkeby and basically saying that the police and the government don't have things under control in Rinkeby, hence there being car fires. And now this isn't anything new. As I said, it's nothing new to Sweden for there to be car fires. We've seen this in other areas of Sweden. We've seen this in Rosengård, in Malmö, and what's the other? Husby. I'm sure we've had it there. These places are starting to get famous, like Molenbeek in Brussels. You know, these areas have become well known for areas of crime and not terrorism, but definitely crime and unrest in countries. And in a country, the thing is, you might say, "Oh, they set some cars on fire. They injured a policeman. So what?" It's like, this isn't normal in Sweden. This wasn't normal in Sweden before 10, 15 years ago, 20 years ago, when they never had as much high immigration to the country. So, I mean, this is what it is. It's like you are importing crime, and it's not a Muslim thing. It's not even necessary. It's like a regional thing. Like, to understand it, and these people are acting out. And why would you want this to happen? It's partially integration. It's a whole lot of different issues coming together that are causing these ghettoized communities to exist in Europe and in Sweden. It's a problem, and people saying that Trump was wrong. Yes, he worded himself wrong, but he's not wrong in highlighting the problems that are going on in places like Sweden. And I think that's what it's important, and people need to take it seriously, because if they foolishly just go on like everything's normal, then this will become the normal where you live in other parts of Europe, in other parts of the West, which I don't think it should be. And you can stop this by having sensible immigration policy. And not only that, but better integration. And who was it? Your man, Raheem Kazan, who formerly ran for leadership of the UKIP party. I think he's a good guy. He's not obviously he's not a racist. He himself is of Muslim descent and so on. His family, I guess, obviously. And he went. He didn't go to Husby. Which one are we talking about? Rinkeby. He didn't go to Rinkeby. He went to Rosengård in Malmö, but very similar situation there. And he says it's not quite a no-go zone if you just sort of keep your head down. But you've had incidents in Rinkeby before where media have been attacked, and admittedly, if you went into any kind of rough area in most places and you're looking for trouble, I guess you'd get it. But it still doesn't mean it's right that people should be attacked simply for asking a couple of questions in a place, which has happened at Rinkeby. And some of these places are pretty dodgy, and that's and it's not right. It shouldn't be the norm, and I don't think we should accept that this is normal behavior. But I think it's just funny after what Trump said, and he had a lot of backlash. And I think, admittedly, Trump should word himself much better, and maybe if his team try and rein him in a bit, he can get more to the point, and people might be able to actually agree rather than pick apart every single thing, jump on the bandwagon, pick apart everything that he says. But that's pretty much it, and I think it's funny that this has happened mere days after what Trump said, and it proves the point that Sweden is in trouble. It's not normal, and it shouldn't be like this. But that's Tom Magnus, and that was the video. I won't do another video about Sweden. Hopefully not. Hopefully there won't be another reason. So peace out. Stay safe.